All right, here we are again. Time for another long 3-step flight journey. Same as usual, Fairbanks down to the main 48 states, across to the East Coast to Charleston. Already actually in here, as you can see, already got past the whole TSA nonsense. I actually almost...
Airlines, please to announce your address, Flight 1549, service from Seattle. Passengers can be met on the lower level in approximately 10 minutes.
I actually almost missed my flight this time, which is something that has never, ever actually happened to me before. The only thing even remotely close to that, even like loosely related, you could say, was this time that we were heading out to fly to Vancouver, and we accidentally like misplaced in our mind the day we were supposed to be leaving, and we ended up showing up at the airport a day early. And we already had like everything like packed and all that, obviously. So it was kind of an awkward moment when we showed up at the front desk. But thankfully, I did make it here, obviously, and I was able to get a ride at the last minute, and I didn't end up having to pay $45 for a cab fare. So I'll be heading off down to Seattle in several minutes, and while there and while in Atlanta also, obviously, definitely get plenty of aviation photography done. Record plenty more stuff, try to get each takeoff and landing, though I'm not in a window seat every time, so I'll have to see what I can do. But here we go. All right, Seattle, the airport that once I used to award the most boring airport award to, but has slowly begun to get a little bit better. The flight was pretty standard for me, surrounded like always by screaming babies. No matter what the flight, no matter where I'm seated, never seemed to escape. There was also some clueless guy in the row across from me who after we had landed, and he was awake the whole time. He didn't like sleep through it. After we had landed, he seemed to think, you know, feels like something's different. So he checked the that flight tracker they have on the screen on the back of the seat in front of you, like apparently to see where we were, and then acted like shocked when it showed that we were actually on the ground in Seattle. Like, did you legitimately not notice? Like the moment, the descent itself and, you know, the actual impact moment of landing isn't something you really miss that easily. But some people are evidently quite oblivious. Anyways, I'm about to roam around. I got about 2 hours, get some photography in. Situated in an interesting place this time. Right across from one of Delta's maintenance hangars. So I'll be sure to get more than a few shots of that, and see what else I can grab. There's some A330s parked just over there, so finally get a chance to photograph something other than a bunch of 737s and 757s. So, onwards. Now this is new. New, actually interesting. Something unique and pleasant to look at, unlike what Seattle used to be, which was just gray walls and black chairs. Seattle, you've actually begun to change my mind about you. You're legitimately trying. awarding you credit for that. You're legitimately trying to improve. So I found this sign literally explaining what I'd already have, that they are in fact doing a whole bunch of new stuff, a whole bunch of renovations. Now, unfortunately for photographers like myself, that means that the areas that they are currently working on, they kind of have to order those off, you know, so they can actually work on them. And the one they are presently working on right at this moment was the big grand viewing window area that I would normally sit at to get, you know, like great shots of planes taking off and landing, because it's just a panoramic view from one end of the runway to the other. And that was closed off. Thank God, however, I did manage to find another place. Not as good, but still pretty good. So I did manage to get quite a few shots off, and I'll start sorting through those as soon as I get to my parents' place in Charleston. Alright, back in Atlanta, busiest airport on earth, my personal favorite so far. I've been to about a dozen or so, though Minneapolis is pretty cool too. So we got a fair deal of, like, I'd say upper medium level turbulence on the flight. It was pretty cool. At one point, we had another flight pass over us perpendicular to the direction we were going, and it was as close as we were allowed to pass. We were only separated by 1,000 feet, and I got to see it coming from like about a dozen miles off, and like getting closer and closer and passing up and over. So that was pretty cool. Passed over the wheat fields, that one thick blotch that you can see along the Mississippi River on satellite images of the continental U.S. Yeah, it's so stark. You can literally see just the instant dead difference where the green stops and the tan begins. But anyways, I got about 3 hours in Atlanta, so I'm going to roam around, find that place that sold Britishport last time, try to get a fair amount of photography in, of course. Pray that no, like, true thunderstorms develop. Not because of the turbulence, because personally I actually love turbulence. but they tend to cause delays, which I don't like. So, we're off again. So, found it again. PF Chang's. If any of you watched my last vlog, you remember from last time, this place has a nice panoramic view. Perfect for plane watching. Yeah. So, apparently it's not just Detroit now. Now, Atlanta also has a weird creep tunnel of sorts. At least Atlanta isn't playing like really weird like demon music like the one in Detroit was. But yeah, airports seem to be developing this this thing for like colorful tunnels, I guess. This is like nice and tame though compared to Detroit. Oh, it actually has like overhanging footage of clouds and birds and stuff. So it's not really like Detroit. Detroit's was literally just a bunch of like spastic colors and creepy demon music. It was literally like just walking through an acid trip. I don't know how well the camera's picking it up, but they also have this projection all over the ground in some parts of it that was meant to simulate raindrops like hitting, and there was the sound there too. I'm pretty sure you probably heard. So yeah, even Atlanta's adding in some new stuff. I'll definitely actually take back my initial instinct. This is not a creep tunnel like Detroit was. But to Detroit though, you guys, your tunnel really is a creep tunnel, and y'all need to get rid of that thing. It's back. Dunkin' Donuts, to be specific. You see, several years back, there was a Dunkin' Donuts in Atlanta, right here in Concourse B, actually, and then they removed it, and I was very sad. But now it's back. And Atlanta also, it seems, is doing quite the bit of renovations. Actually, they have video presentations playing on several screens throughout the terminal of what they intend on doing to the airport. They're basically completely not just remodeling, they're rebuilding the whole place around itself while still keeping the actual place itself in operation. It's like, I assure you, it's like logistical insanity. But this is definitely one of the few airports that I'm more than confident can actually pull it off. East Coast again for the summer. So, yet again, had some interesting stuff on this one. As we were taxiing out to the runway in Atlanta, we actually we saw a tail scrape. A 757-200 was landing, and it was its rear end was just too low. There was a little bit of a rise between us and it, so we didn't get to see like the sparks like all go flying, but we did see awkwardly colored smoke go up from it, and it, you know, wobble a little bit as it actually tried to like touch its nose down afterwards. And also, while we were actually just flying, I saw an A380 pass below us and off to the north a little bit. I couldn't tell which one it was because of the sun basically being behind it almost, so it was kind of more silhouette-ish, but I could make out the distinctive shape of the wings. So it was either the Lufthansa or Miami A380 coming up out of Miami, and so it passed off about, say, probably 2,000 feet below us. Well, short story short, I'm here now. Obviously, been here for a couple days, chilling with my parents, eating some German chocolate, playing Dark Souls. Oh man, that is bright on my GoPro. Level 149 so far. Just finished regular new game, and actually haven't even gone through the DLCs yet. Once you guys see this, the actual full lengths of each portion of like flight footage, like just, you know, the actual aircraft landings and takeoffs, the full length of them that I got, those will be coming up in a few days. And I also will be getting out to the beach for an actual ocean sunrise, potentially next week. So I will both film and photograph that. But thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you all around next time.